Aviation remains a capital-intensive industry, no thanks to dollar spending against the income in naira for airlines. Industry experts believe one of the factors that stifle the growth of the aviation industry in Nigeria is the failure of banks to extend special lending facilities to the sector. But can airlines leverage on the stock exchange and find funds for their business? That's what we seek to unravel on the program. A warm welcome to Aviation This Week. I'm Victoria Idowu. Our background report on airline funding from Nigerian Stock Exchange is up next.
The National Bureau of Statistics report for the first and second quarters of 2016 shows that 3.5 million passengers traveled through Nigerian airports in Q1 2016. This represents domestic and international travels. With airports and airlines operating in the country, it can be inferred that opportunities are bound for investments. The drag, however, is in the operations.
Those challenges ranges from issues of foreign exchange, issues of taxation, and that was why we call on government, because some of those challenges are beyond them, and we ask government to intervene. They have to intervene to save the industries, to save the company, so that they can remain floating. And we ask them to please look at the issue of taxation, issue of foreign exchange accessibility, and equally look at the issue of fuel, aviation fuel, to reduce the cost for them. Thereby, they'll be able to sustain themselves in the industry.
The challenges confronting the aviation sector include airport facilities management, infrastructure, and the consistent collapse of airlines. Within the last 20 years, 26 airlines have collapsed in the Nigerian aviation sector, with funding challenge identified as the concern. Historically, two airlines, ADC and Albarca, were listed on the Nigerian Stock Exchange to bridge these financing gaps, but both delisted a few years after, leaving just two aviation sector-related firms on the capital market, an in-flight catering company, airline services and logistics, as well as a ground handling company, Nigerian Aviation Handling Company.
The capital market, what does it stand out for? It provides a significant platform for capital raising, and that is open to all kinds of companies, including airline businesses. And therefore, the likes of Medview would basically just be taking advantage of that opportunity to access the market in the times of need, as well as create the necessary visibility which the stock exchange provides. All over the world, the most of capital will be sourced through the stock exchanges. And therefore, the Nigerian Stock Exchange, for example, provides such important vehicle, for companies to get listed, to raise monies, to allow their investors to change positions at will. And so those are some of the benefits of listing. But the capital market, as it were, is actually the best source of funding for such businesses. Number one, it is highly capital intensive. And because it is also highly capital intensive, it has a long gestation period. That's the essence of capital raising. If you go for short-term funding, which I think quite a number of them have tried to do, you will soon be burnt out because of excessive charges that come from traditional commercial banking lending.
25 years after, Medview Airlines is the only airline listed on the NSE by introduction, with over 9.75 billion units of shares.
Medview came to the floor, and what they tried to do was to spread the risk instead of the few shareholders bearing the risk. With that one, coming even to raise long-term capital in the equity market, I see Medview will be able to weather the storm, and they will be able to break even, and in little time I see them flying.
In regional markets, the meager number of quoted aviation stocks shows that aviation companies are not inspired to list their shares. despite the capital-intensive nature of the business.